Audio Jungle.
Presentation from the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms. Their main focus is fair taxation, responsible borrowing, and sustainable spending. The Council acknowledged that the country is underperforming on all indices as it regards yield from major revenue sources, also our tax to GDP ratio, and so on. So after extensive deliberation, NEC noted the need for sufficient alignment between and amongst the stakeholders for the proposed reforms. So Council therefore recommend the need to withdraw the bill currently before the National Assembly on tax reforms, so that we can have wider consultations and also build consensus around these reforms for the benefit of the entire country, and also to give our people for them to know the vision and where we are moving the country in terms of tax reforms, because there's been a lot of miscommunication, misinformation. So the bill will be withdrawn from the National Assembly, and then there will be consultation afterward. Thank you. For the question, I think as far as the issue of the bill, Governor Zulum has adequately tackled that. It's an advice. We saw the gap, that there's a need for wider and further consultation so that you have stakeholders alignment. Now, as regards the social register, I can ask some of you, when did you start hearing about social register? I mean, it's not like this issue has been on for maybe 15, 20 years. No. It started when we're getting into this economic headwind. And if you look at us here, yeah, maybe apart from the Honorable Minister of Finance, all of us are politicians, right?
No, he is one.
Well, no.
That's why he has political appointment.
But also different political leaning. I mean, Governor Zulum is APC, I'm PDP, he is APGA, but politics is a game. We play game to get the people, to give us the opportunity to serve them. But governance is a very serious business. So what we've done with the social register and what we're saying is, look, it will not be politicized, because when you see us playing politics, in the middle of the night, we talk to ourselves, we align, we even shake hands. Okay, let's go out there. If you win, you win. If I win, we will support you. But when it comes to governance, it's a serious business because lives, millions of lives for Nigeria are involved. So getting the correct social register devoid of, politics, that is what we've tried to do. Thank you.
The National Economic Council meeting, which was chaired by His Excellency the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima. Among others, a presentation was made on a program called Solutions for the Internally Displaced and Host Communities. This is a presentation made by Hajara Ahmed, the project coordinator of the World Bank supported program. And the objective of the program is in recognition of the fact that the internally displaced situation calls for greater investment long-term and rather than emergency solutions. So the objective of the program is to improve access to basic services and economic opportunities for the internally displaced persons and host communities in affected local governments in Nigeria. And among clear objectives is investment in resilient infrastructure and services for internally displaced persons and host communities, because it's not only the internally displaced person that needs support, but host communities need support as well in order to host them. Equally, to enhance sustainable livelihoods for the both internally displaced persons and the host communities, as well as project management and support to national internally displaced persons policy implementation. The expectation is that states will express interest and also to assign a focal person in each of the participating states to facilitate communication on solid and communicating the name of the focal person to the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, which is coordinating the program, as well as that to recognize that the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning as the implementing entity at the federal level shall coordinate all activities as well as work with states to ensure that the project objectives are delivered. The National Northeast Development Commission will support the Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning within their area of expertise so that we can fast-track implementation as well as support both the project steering committee and the technical committee that will be established. Thank you.
And there is going to be released today details by the federal government through the Ministry of Finance and of course in conjunction with the central bank, a initiative, a program starting today, 31st of October, and lasting 9 months that will allow people to bring in cash that is outside the banking system. So therefore, it is unsafe, it is unsecure, and it is outside of legal limits. They will be allowed without any, they will be allowed forbearance to bring those funds, dollars, to bring dollars cash. Let me emphasize once again, it is to bring dollars that they are holding outside the system to be able to bring them in and credit it to their bank accounts. And as long as it is not proceeds of crime, illicit money, there will be no taxes, there will be no penalty, there will be no taxes, there will be no questions. They just meet the normal know your customer criteria of banks, and they are free, and they have an opportunity to bring in those funds, make them safe, make them secure, and make them available through normal economic activity. And of course, we know, and I reported, that in terms of the direct benefit and direct help to the general public. Of course, there was wage award at first, now there's the new minimum wage. There is direct transfers to the people on the social register that has been put together by all levels of government and is being verified. And so people are paid after they have been uniquely identified biometrically, and they are paid digitally through a bank account or mobile wallet. And those payments have been rolled out. We have reached 5 million households, 25 million Nigerians, and first and second payments are being made. And that process of having a robust social register where you can reach people directly and help them with payments that allow them to now choose what their priority is and go and then deal with that priority is something that will be ongoing. A society always needs to help its poorest and its most vulnerable, no matter, because relatively you're always going to have people who need help. The consumer credit scheme to allow workers to be able to pay for things over time, to be able to afford various goods, including CNG kits, to convert their cars to a cheaper form of fuel. In the last 11 days, or in the last 5 days, I should say, 11,000 beneficiaries have received 3.5 billion naira. So that's an ongoing rollout of consumer credit to help people to make things more affordable to the worker. Of course, the student loan scheme has reached over 500,000 students, and it has disbursed over 90 billion naira. And that is to the students for their fees, to the institutions for the students' fees directly, and then to the students for their upkeep. So, and it's interest-free loan. So that, of course, is providing access to higher education to so many who otherwise would not afford it. And as I mentioned earlier, the CNG initiative to provide a cheaper source of fuel for fueling mass transit and even personal vehicles is ongoing. In addition to that, we all know that food is critical, and we all know about the increased cost of food at this particular time. And it's a question of affordability and availability, and it's all about supply. So there are two ways that that is being confronted. First of all, we do have a short-term program for millers to bring in raw materials, brown rice in this instance, to be able to mill and sell. And we are watching, because it's going to be duty-free and levy-free, the price will be lower, and we will monitor very carefully. It is millers who decide to enter the program that will be allowed to, and there will be criteria limiting. Of course, there will be a limit. The supply gap in rice, we believe, is about 2.5 million metric tons. So maybe half of that will be allowed to be filled by millers bringing in brown rice, raw material, and producing, so that there can be affordability and availability in the marketplace.
Meeting, and of course, as is traditional and habitual, sisters, my dear friends, gentlemen of the press, I'd like to say a warm. Don't worry.
Audio Jungle.